Okay guys, we've got some new additions to the tank. We've been out to Morthia City, and a guy in Morthia City sells frags from his main tank, and we're going to get these up and running into the main tank. We're going to have to dip them first. So the product we're going to be using for the bath, to make sure we've got no flatworm or anything on these corals, it's by Red Sea and it's called Coral Induction Bath. And we've got 3 new frags. We've got a Pavona, which is a cactus coral, a tricolour acropora, and a digitata green frag. So we'll get these into a bucket using 2 of the bags that we've already got with the water, and we'll save a 3rd bag just for giving them a pre-wash before we drip feed them from the main tank and get some water in there to acclimatise them. Yeah, so our first coral that's going in the dip is the acropora tricolour. As you can see, there's no colour on it at the moment because it's out of the water and it's closed up. So we'll put that gently in the bucket. We'll make sure we don't have these touching each other, and we'll put the water from the guy's main tank in there with it. As you can see, there's a bit of gunk coming out there, so we'll have to be a bit careful. So guys, you can see the second coral. It's quite a decent size frag of Pavona, cactus coral. This should grow quite quick in the tank in the conditions we've currently got. It's on a piece of coral base there, an old piece of coral. And you can see the 3rd one, if we look in the tank, if we can get into some sort of this is the digitata. It's a green version. Again, not showing much colour at the moment. It's encrusted and branching, so we'll get that in a nice spot in the tank. All armed and ready with super glue gel, 60-second set. Sets great underwater. Yeah, so we're going to get 5 ml of Red Sea Coral Induction Bath into this container now. There we are guys, we've got them in the dip. There's quite a bit of stuff coming off them already, and this guy's tank is fairly clean, but I can see a few things that probably would have been beneficial, but they've got to come off anyway. I'm not going to take any chances. There's a couple of tiny feather worms at the bottom there that have come off. There's a shrimp there that's swimming around. I don't know if we can focus in on him. There's a feather duster worm there, if you can just see it floating. There's a shrimp going across the screen. Again, probably would have been beneficial, but just not worth taking the chance at this moment in time with a fairly new tank. So they're going to stay in there for a few minutes longer, and then we'll acclimate them in tank water after giving them a quick freshwater dip. So they're going to stay in the solution with the dip in there, and then they're going to have a quick freshwater dip just to make sure we've got everything off there, and then they're going to go into the tank solution to acclimatise. That's the remainder of the final bag. They're going to go in there first, and we'll drip feed some water in there, and we'll get some pictures when they're in the tank and they get them glued in place, and hopefully when the polyps start to open up and they get some colour on there. So guys, we've got the new additions in the tank. I'm actually waiting for a filter so we can get some better coloration on these. See, the Euphilia's not too pleased with the tank mates. It's gone in a little bit, obviously sensing the dip, even though they've been rinsed. So there's the Pavona. Stag coral, or the bird's nest coral, have moved from its place there. It was only loosely sat there in a rock, so it's actually stuck now. And you can see the green digitata is sat on another rock at the other side. And right at the top at the moment, not showing too much colour, is the tricolour acropora. And although it's looking fairly full at the front of the aquascape, there's an awful lot of room at the back. If I stop this video now, so you can see down the back of the tank, we're slightly off the back wall there, but we've got stacks of room to move forward. So what's going to happen with the rock structure? It'll get moved forward a couple of inches, and these pieces of rock that are down the back, we'll make a new section, and we'll make it so it sits on these 2 pieces. There's one down behind the pump that you just can't see sticking out the back there. I'll make it so it temporarily sits on there, but it's quite solid again, so in future we can pull this main structure out in one go if we need to, and the rear structure can just be taken out first in one go, so we can, if we want to do a complete tear down in the tank, we can take the two main structures out and the small island pieces that are on the bottom, and catch any fish we need to, and etc, etc. So yeah, it's coming along okay. So guys, comments and thoughts. There's the front view of the tank with the coral island in the middle. I'm quite mindful that we need a fair bit of space between everything that's in there, so the raster, Euphilia and the Montipora plating that's next to it, they've got a couple of inches at the moment. The flow's keeping the Euphilia going the other way, but at some point we might have to be moving. It's only slightly glued with super glue, that one there. These two plating Montipora this side, they pretty much have to stay where they are, and the Duncan in the middle's got plenty of room to grow. Likewise the Milker at the top and the Bavona got plenty of room, and like I say, we've got plenty of room at the back. We'll just have to see how these colour up later on when they've been in the tank a few hours. I'll maybe stitch a few more shots later when they open up and we get some coloration, and add it to this video. Anyway guys, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and leave me a few comments, especially if you're new to reefing or you've been reefing for years and years and years, about the approach I'm taking on this Coral Island cube 60 by 60 by 60 or 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot tank.